This is Tyson Barrie. You're listening to Missin Curfew.
What's Missin Curfew? It's when you kind of play guilty, but you show up.
How nice is a green light on the road, though? No practice tomorrow, no plane, just go.
Scotty Upshaw in the clear, and he scores! Right in front, scores!
A few laughs, a little bit of fun, and obviously a lot of hockey talk.
You're listening to Missin Curfew.
Fellas, coming to you from Hall Pass Media in Newport Beach, this is Missin Curfew. And let's not forget, today's episode is always presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Obes and our boy Swishy Swish from the chin of Scottsdale, as he would say. Fella, how we doing? How we feeling? Thanks for representing Missin Curfew like a pro, like always. What a weekend, fella.
Yeah, what a weekend we had. What a runner we had, Obes. I was on the road for 8 days. I think you were 4, and we're right back into it this weekend in Aspen. Obes, sometimes the only way out is further in, and we're going to push our bodies to the fullest limit we have. Anything you got in the tank, we need it for this weekend. We got a big weekend in Aspen. I think it's the best weekend of the year as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, Chippewa Street, Buffalo, you tested our chins, you took our dignity, and you know what? You kind of just chewed us up and spit us out. But hey, we played hard and we played fair.
Yeah, we did. We played our guts out. I'll tell you what chewed me up and spit me out was that, thank God I got that little makeshift Sprinter van for the boys. But that drive home, I mean, we didn't move out of that parking lot for, 45, Swishy? I'm like,
Longer than that.
Do you think it was our driver's fault or just there was nowhere to go, right?
Well, the thing is when you're in those old stadiums, and I don't know if you noticed on the way into that stadium, there's only one way in and one way out, and it's a single lane road. So essentially you got nowhere to go. If you don't beat the rush getting out of the stadium, our drunk thought at the time was let's hang out and let everyone file out of the stadium, right? So we took our time getting out of the Labatt suite, and then we go into the parking lot, and it is just a clusterfuck. It's a game of just, it's just, what are you going to do? It's just jammed up. It's jarred.
It was jammed up, but what a football game. I don't know if it was the snow up there in Buffalo or maybe them losing the game, but our boy Joey Burrow is like talking about retirement this week. Have you seen some of these press conferences coming out of Cincinnati?
Yeah, Obes, I have, and it's concerning. I don't want him to turn into the next Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
And it seems like Joe isn't mad. He's not disappointed. It just seems he's sad. And sad's a tough spot to be in. You don't want to be depressed.
Yeah. No, listen, I spent 2 years in Cincy. Great. I was young, right? 19, 20, or 2021. I love Cincy. But, playing in Cincy for the Bengals and winning is one thing, but being there for the last few years and losing and getting hurt and, the only reason they're half competitive is because of him. It's like, I get why he's disappointed and not feeling the love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's dealing with different things off the field as well with, people, vandalizing his home. Yeah. He's got, different women surfacing that, that are his side pieces that are coming up. It's just, there's a lot of distractions when you're Joe Burrow, and you add on injuries and losing, and that sucks. It's like I said, it doesn't seem like he's mad or disappointed. He just kind of seems sad right now. So maybe Joe just needs a little bit of love, and maybe Joe needs a steady woman in his life or a woman in his life. I don't know. Maybe the side pieces are getting to him.
Let's not get crazy here, eh? Let's not get crazy. That'll just
I don't know.
That'll make you more. Don't do it, Joe. That'll make you more sad, fella. Hey, but how sick was it, Swishy? Shout out to the Updog. The Updog got the boys some field passes, National League style. But how sick was it down there? We're in the Bengals side of the field for warm up, and we're on the sideline there. And Joey B is just laying these things in. Like I could have caught him, old, fat, out of shape. He's laying these babies in. And Swishy being down there with you was so sick to watch him just put it on the tape.
Yeah, shout out to Updog because that was sick. That was my favorite part of the day is going down there to the gridiron, getting on the turf, and just seeing those guys in real time and seeing Jamar chasing puss, seeing those guys just running their routes, and Joey Burr just dropping seeds. We're talking about just dropping dots in there, effortless too. Obes, like he was throwing 40 to 50-yard go routes, and he didn't even have to use his arm. That was the most incredible thing, seeing it up close. It was just the flick of the wrist. Like, there was no arm in that motion. It was just like he was shooting a three-pointer. It was just dot, dot, that. It was sick.
Yeah, and it was just right on the tape.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh Allen, what a game. I had the Bills every which way you could take them. Thank God he came through for me. But it was cool there being in the snow, watching in the snow in the nice, friendly confines of the warm Labatt Blue Sweep. But it was exactly what I wanted for a Buffalo Bills game. Swishy, high scoring, Joey B going against Josh Allen, snowing, boys are boozing. It was all around great day.
Yeah, tailgate was sick too. Shout out to Labatt before the game. It was unbelievable. They had a tent set up. You guys had the T-shirt gun going. I got on the mic for a little bit, said a couple words, and the call of the day was from a young man out of Belleville, Ontario, Brad Richardson. Now, we're going to the game, and we're running on just fumes. We're talking 1 or 2 hours of sleep here. And we're going to this game, and we're a couple Irish coffees deep, and I'm looking at Richie. I'm like, what do you think? Is it the under? He's like, oh, no. On TV, it's going to look way worse than it is, and people with the drone shots flying over Buffalo, they're going to take the under because there's snow. You can't see. The visibility's not great, but he's like, you know what? It's not as bad as you think out. It's actually pretty nice. The wind's going to die down, and Joe Burrow is going to play like it doesn't matter. It's just he's going to go out there with loose hips. He's going to go out there with, just gunslinging because their back's against the wall as is. And what a call by Richie Bay. Yeah. So I followed his lead, the 18-year NHL veteran. I trusted him. That ended up working out, and we had the Bills as well. So a great day nonetheless. And Richie, he's always good, that veteran he is.
He is a veteran. Yeah, listen, we were driving there. We were in the little makeshift Sprinter van. It looked pretty shitty out, right? And then obviously shout out to Labatt Blue. They gave us those National League fucking one-piece snowsuits that kept us warm. But once we got out there, Swishy, in the tailgate, and then especially down the field, I'm like, it's not as bad out here as it looks. Like, it's snowing, but it wasn't windy, like you said. And if anything, the slickness of the field made it almost harder for the defenders, right? And then when you got Joey B and Allen slinging it, so that was a great veteran move by Richie. I'm glad I jumped on it with you boys.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, the wind died down. They were able to clear the snow off the field, kind of in between the TV timeouts and obviously before the game. And it was actually pretty nice out. I mean, we were comfortable in those onesies. It was, sub 25, 30 degrees. The wind died down. And, yeah, it was a great day. Like, that was, when we were looking at the start of the calendar, the Fella Tour, and, penciling in Chippewa Street and Buffalo, that game was everything we could have asked for because obviously Joe Burrow was hurt at the start of the season. He gets healthy. We were able to see him. It's snowing in Buffalo. The tailgate was rocking. The crowd was great. Man, that was electric. I really like that stadium, to be honest. I'm sad they're moving.
You did. You're like, shit, I can't believe they're building a new one here. But that stadium does have some character to it. But you could see if it was windy, how it could be just chaos in there, right? Because there's not much that covers it. But when it's not windy like that, it's got a lot of character. I'm with you. It's got a lot of character.
It felt like you were walking into a prison, to be honest. Didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I still think we took the long way in. I still think Updog went the long way around. We got to see the whole building there. We walked around the whole goddamn thing, it felt like, Swishy.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, every piece of the whole entire stadium was just covered in prison concrete. Like, that thing it was low ceilings, it was tight quarters in the concourse, and when you're walking in, I'm like, holy fuck, are we walking into a penitentiary right now? What's going on? And then the fact that they still had O.J. Simpson's name and number retired on the lower wall, I was like, holy shit, this is like full criminal.
Yeah, it did definitely have that feel to it. But once again, thank you, Labatt Blue. Great weekend. Tons of blue lights. Boys bang down. Fuck, they make a nice chicken wing there in Buffalo. I got to tell you. I tell you what, they make a nice chicken wing there, Swishy. Hey, they make a proper chicken wing in Buff.
Oh, man. And on the Fella Tour, there's just so many good chirps flying around the whole time. But when Richardson looked at you and he goes, watch this, Swish, he goes, hey, Obes, you don't have to eat the bones, right?
Yeah. Richie might be the only guy to go to Buffalo and not have one wing. I didn't see him have a wing or a water for 3 fucking days, that old veteran Bell Vegas centerman. Hey, he didn't have one wing or one water. He's just fucking pounding blue lights the whole weekend. God love him.
Yeah, he was Jameson, and he was throwing both ways the entire weekend. But yeah, they do make a nice wing in that spot we went to on Saturday night after our show. Bada Bing, I got to shout them out. That was great hospitality and a good wingy fella.
Yeah, and by the way, Bada Bing, it's a good old gritty sports bar when they got the UFC fights on and they got the sound on, right? You can hear Bruce Buffer, you can hear Joe Rogan. I'm like, this is my kind of place to come watch fights. Like, you sometimes will get the fights on, but very rarely do you get the fights and the sound. But in a gritty place like Buffalo, they got them just humming in there.
Yeah, that was shades of a Buffalo Wild Wings outside of Omaha, Nebraska. Just, ready to throw. There's probably 3 or 4 fights outside right after because guys are just all jacked up and they think they're tough. And yeah, that was a great spot to watch that tilt.
Yeah, so thanks again to our boy Jay and everybody on the Labatt Blue, and we've met so many cool people in Buff. What a great city. We will be back. Moving on up, Swishy, you touched on this, fella. Aspen alumni game this weekend, the Colorado Extreme. Fella, I grabbed my bag out of my storage yesterday, opened her up. Everything was in there, but my skates were completely rusted, so I had to take them in, get them sharpened. They're ready. My twigs are ready. I'm as ready as I'm going to be, fella. How you feeling about getting up there and mixing it up in a little place called Aspen?
I can't wait, fella. You've been on the trading block. You've been put through waivers. Now you're back on Team Colorado. So yeah, I'm sad. I'm going to miss you in the locker room. I was looking forward to playing with you, but I'm fired up. Me too, though. Same shit. I got on the ice one time since Aspen this past year. I went out there like 3 or 4 weeks ago. But Obes, the thing I worry about is because I keep my bag on the patio.
Yeah,
I'm on the 6th level at my condo, but I always worry about bugs in my bag. So I dusted it off. It was just as greasy as ever. There was, dust all over the place, obviously being in the desert, but I shipped my bag last week to Updog's place, so it made it there. I can't wait for this game. Weather, I checked it out, looks solid on Saturday, 30, 35 degrees, some sun. So, yeah, I'm fired up. There's a lot of new faces in the mix. Bobby Bortuzzo, beauty, he'll be there. So I'm excited to see some of these guys that weren't there last year, and then ultimately the core is still intact in terms of the all beauty team.
Yeah, there is a lot of new bodies coming in this year. Unfortunately, no Stoley, no Heater, no Teddy, no Richardson. Those are my 4 big UFA signings last year. Yeah, and I couldn't re-up them. Couldn't fit them under the cap. Heater wasn't coming without private aviation. I'm like, fuck Heater. I don't know what to tell you. Richardson, he went to Disney World. Now he's going to Disneyland. Teddy just had a kid, and Stoley baby's too busy. But those I'm going to miss those boys this year because those are my 4 guys I brought in last year that I thought brought a nice little National League feel, I should say, to the whole weekend.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Stoley Babe is all time the pride of Melville, Saskatchewan. One of the best to ever do it. And then how about Teddy last year too? He actually had to miss the game because of flu-like symptoms. He took it too deep on Friday.
Yeah.
Ultimately, took warm up. I think he went through a dynamic stretch off the ice and was deemed ineligible to play. So that was a tough shakeup. But yeah, those LA King guys. I mean, those guys are as good as it gets.
Yeah, he missed the game, but he didn't miss the aftershaker in true Newfie fashion. But dude, I mean, the altitude up there, like my girls got sick the last 2 times we went there. I think the altitude fucked with Teddy last year. Like, I'm going for an IV after we were done recording here, but the altitude in Aspen's no joke, and you got to kind of, because once you get sick, you're kind of in one. There's no way out of it up there.
Yeah, and especially last year too. And I mean, the event is unbelievable. I mean, these guys put on such a cool event. I think it's, like I said, I think it's the best weekend of the year. But when we went right up to the top and people were just funneling one rocks and we were on the whiskey opes, like I woke up the next day and I was stung. And then, I see you and you're getting on the bus for the game. You're like, I told the IV girl, I need everything legal in the state of Colorado to get me out of this fucking bed. You had like 2 IV bags going. You barely made the bus, but yeah, it's no joke.
I wouldn't have made it without those IVs. So shout out to Sheldon and Brian Berard. Boys, we're looking forward to getting up there. Last but not least, our little intro here. We had mentioned that the Updog and Richie are playing the Pro Rivals Open at Grand Cypress. And I'll tell you what, they made the cut. Coming off a fella tour, tough travel, 100 beers, 40 shots of JMO. The boys made the cut. So way to represent the company, boys. And if there's anything that can prove what Missin Curfew is all about, Swishy, is those 2 boys going on a full runner, as you would say, and then making the cut. I couldn't even have fucking teed it up, let alone made the cut. So Updog and Richie, way to represent Missin Curfew. That's pretty impressive, Swishy, that they got her done.
Yeah, I mean, and also pushing back their flight from Sunday night to Monday. No practice round, just chunk and run out there on Tuesday, right into the thick of things. So, yeah, they both had, shaky starts to be expected for their sake. I think they shot 80 and 82 respectively. but rebounded Obes and made the cut, which is impressive coming off Chippewa for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, it's funny that a lot of the boys on that Sunday through the Missin Curfew socials were asking about if Richardson and Updog were going to make that Sunday flight. I was like, no, boys, they changed their money. I told those boys, I'm like, hey, you got the right intention, fellas. I get it. You want to get down there. You got, a practice round Monday, but I'm like, there's no way you're going to want to leave. And the shape that they were in, they made the right call.
Yeah, I mean, just that whole entire day, that stretch, like, there's no way you're getting out of Buff after that game. It's just, that's the logistics, Obes. They don't add up.
But great job, boys. Way to make the cut. Hopefully they finish strong today. We'll be right back at Missin Curfew. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. DraftKings Pick6, baby. Presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Boys, if you haven't got out there and download the Pick6 app, you're missing out. Great odds. You hit 6, you get unbelievable odds, like I said. I had one last night, Swishy. By the way, I was watching the Utah Mammoth play the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champs. That building looks good to me, man. That Delta Center, their uniforms, the new logo on center ice, the way it looks like a great barn.
Yeah, it is a great barn, and it's when it was rocking in terms of the Utah Jazz back in the day. It was probably the loudest barn in the association. So it's really built for sport. It's the way that they've reconstructed it too for hockey. The acoustics, they hit nice. It's low ceilings. It's steep. The seats look good on TV. And when you're there and when they're playing well, it's a really good atmosphere, Obes. I will say that. So as long as they can keep building and be competitive, I think it's only going to get better.
Yeah, that was a heartbreaking loss for them too, right?
Yeah.
To lose late like that, that's a huge point for them in a team that's trying to get into the playoffs for, I guess, the first time with that core group of guys. I was like, fuck, you got to find a way to get that baby to OT. What an unbelievable play by Rhino to sauce it to Listerine, who gives it a little one touch, and then it goes backdoor off the goalie, and Lundell fucking smacks it home. It was an unbelievable goal, but I just felt for the Mammoth because I'm like, that's a game where you got to get at least a point, eh, Swish?
Yeah, and what is the number one rule off of defensive zone faceoffs, Obes? Center on center.
Yeah.
Because the wingers are going to run an interchange. It's going to be either an over-under or there's going to be a set faceoff play for a shot. Center on center. Barrett Hayton, unfortunately, loses his man Lundell on the back door. Yeah, it was tipped out of midair, but that's the number one rule, my friend. Center on center off the D-zone draw.
Yeah, 100%. And that's something you work on all the day and all the time in the National League. You got to be able to get it done in your own zone. Tie hockey game at home. So that's a learning curve for the Mammoth. Back to the DraftKings Pick6 app. I went 4 for 6 last night. I had Beniers over half a goal. He got me one. Kadri over half a point. Larkin over half a point. McCann over half a goal. And then our boy Clayton Keller didn't get over half a point. And Montour, my buddy Monty Kid fella, didn't get over half a point either. I'll tell you what, I watched that Seattle Kraken LA Kings game last night. Might have been one of the most boring hockey games I've watched all fucking year. Like, hey, TNT, don't be putting those two teams on. They can't score. It was painful, Swish.
Oh, it's chunk and run. I felt you after that Utah game ended, which was a great game. I thought Utah played really well. Obviously, Florida was buzzing, and then I flipped over to that game, Obes. It's just chunk and run. I was like, oh my god, I actually couldn't watch it. I will say that I just turned it off.
I've never seen more guys fumbling pucks and fumbling passes and skating over, and I'm like, not that I was the most skilled guy in the fucking National League, but I could take a pass and give a pass. Like watching that game last night. Even more from the Kraken's perspective than the Kings. Like, that's a home game. Like, it's such an important game for them right now. Like, you got to come out crispy, tape to tape, making the right play. Like, they were all over the map. I'm like, this is hard to watch right now.
Yeah, and I would say the only guy actually on Seattle that was buzzing and that looked solid was Monty Kid fella.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of things, LA, I mean, they're so slow. Like, it's just, and especially down the middle, it's just like they have no first twitch or fast twitch like speed through the middle of the ice, and then like everything just gets bottled up at the far blue line, and then they dump it in, and it's a tough brand of hockey right now. I don't know what you do there.
It's a real tough brand of hockey, and
yeah,
they gave up the Kraken gave up a shorty, and then the other goal they got, the Kings, was a power play goal. Pairs up to it again. Cross Texas young Evans kid turns around, high sticks him in the face to get a 4-minute 4-minute power play. But other than that, the Kings didn't generate a whole fuck of a lot. I'm like, this is maybe time to mix up the system a little bit. You know what I mean? Swishy, like you got to score goals in today's NHL. You can't just try to win 2-1 every night. It's not like when Stoli Babe and the boys were winning cups.
No, it's certainly not. And I don't know. They just have they have a lot of pretty good players, but no real standout elite level players. Like Kempe is decent. I mean, he's obviously a good NHL player, an all-star per se, a 40-goal guy, but then you have Kevin Fiala. I don't know. They just don't have any game breakers on either side of things. On defense or on forward, they're in a weird spot there in LA. I don't like watching them, to be honest.
Yeah, which sucks because typically I do like watching LA Kings play. And I would say from their forward group, if you look at their back end, I think they're built for playoff hockey. Like Kenny Holland brought in, Dumoulin and Cody Ceci, and Edmondson was already there. And then you got Doughty, Clark, and Anderson. If they do get in, I think that's a group of 6 that's built for 4 to 7 playoff hockey. However, when you look at that back end to get these guys the puck with speed, who's going to give it to him? That Mikey Anderson, in my opinion, has been overrated his whole career. Obviously, Drew Doughty isn't the player he was. Brant Clark is a puck-moving defenseman. Edmondson I love, but he's not a puck mover. Dumoulin's not a puck mover. Cece's not a puck mover. So I bet you the forwards on that team, Swishy, Kopitar and Kempe and Fiala and Byfield and the boys are it'd be nice if we had a couple guys back here that could maybe move the puck a little quicker and join the rush.
Yeah, and also get the puck off the yellow, get the puck off the boards and get it into the middle of the ice with guys with speed. A lot of times, there's a lot of rim pucks, there's a lot of greasy pucks, and that just creates chaos where you're not able to generate speed underneath and really 2-on-1 or go on an odd man rush. So I do think that back end, they would be built for playoffs, but at the same time, what is the LA Kings' ultimate goal there? If they're lucky, they could win a round, I think. That's about it.
I don't know how their coaching staff made it through last year. Blakey, Blakey took the responsibility on him, which I don't think it was all on Blakey. And listen, I don't know Jim Hiller. That's his name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. DJ Smith, I don't know. I'm sure he's a good guy, but to me, when you're in the LA Kings, you can go out there with a guy like Pete DeBoer out there right now. To me, why not go get him? But last but not least, in our Pick 6 segment here, Top Titty is back. Kyle Casey Conway. Every Saturday, boys, pick your team. Stay under the salary cap. The more beauties play, the more dollars up for grabs. It's a lot of fun at DraftKings, boys. Get some skin in the game. Moving on here, boys. It is the Eagle 4 around the National League. Fellas, ready for a getaway? Missin Curfew listeners get 18% off at the Balboa Bay Resort with code CURFEW. It's good through March 31st, 26th. Lounge by the water, enjoy waterside dining, and unwind in true Newport Beach style. Fellas, hurry and book now at balboabayresorts.com with code CURFEW. Swishy, best league in the world, around the National. I'm going to our boy in Philadelphia. Rick Tocchet is up to it again. I saw it firsthand when he went into Vancouver. Went in there right away and turned that whole team around. He's doing it right now with Philly. I'm just pulling the standings up right now here, Swishy. They're sitting in a playoff spot. Right now, they're 16-9-3, 35 points. I know it's super tight in the Eastern Conference, but isn't it impressive, Swish, that Tox goes in there, changes the culture, just the impact that he can have right away in a hockey club, to me, is maybe his biggest positive thing that he can do as a coach. But he goes in there, he's changed the culture, they're playing better. Good on Tox, man. It's not easy to go in there right away and have put your fingerprint on a team right away, Swishy.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing and the best item of business that the Real Rocket Tocchet has done is get these guys that he's brought in to buy in and play well. I mean, if you look at Trevor Zegras, 27 points in 28 games, he's clicking at a point per game. Christian Dvorak has quietly become their number one center with 19 points in 28 games. That was a great signing on a one-year deal off a guy that's been a little bit injury-prone, but a really good player. Toc had familiarity with him dating back to his Arizona days. And then you look at Konechny has been playing well, Tippett. I think the best thing about the Real Rocket, Obes, and you know this, is his ability to connect to different personalities, and he knows what makes guys tick. And that is easier said than done. And a lot of times coaches get lost in the shuffle of wanting to coach a guy the only way they know how to. But with the real Rocket Tocchet, he knows how different personalities work. He's been in the National League for 40-odd years. So he's able to connect with these guys and pull them aside and really get and drive home a message in a way that they will understand and ultimately trust him. So I think that's what the real Rocket's done. And we know he was going to do it. It's just cool to see, him actually put the wheels in motion and make it happen.
Yeah, that's well said by you. And I just think another one of his biggest gifts as a coach is his communication skills, right? You know where you stand with talks. You can go knock on his door. Listen, throughout my playing career, Barry Trotz is the only coach that really jumps out to my mind as a head coach that I felt like I go in there and say, ask him questions or how's my game, this and that. And Talks just does an unbelievable job of communicating with these guys. And I think Zegras is a prime example. Like right from day one, he said he liked the way, Zegras' attitude was. He's a fun-loving guy. He likes that he jokes around. Like he wasn't trying to change Trevor Zegras, right? Swishy? He said, This kid, this is how he is. He likes to have fun. He likes to fuck around. Let's embrace that and work with it. And like you said, Z's pretty much a point-of-game guy right now. And I got to be honest, I didn't see that coming. I was worried for Z going into Philly. I thought there might be a chance that these fans eat him up and spit him out kind of thing. But Talks just let him be himself, and it's bleeding onto his game.
Yeah, and I think the really cool thing about the real Rocket, too, is a lot of times head coaches in the National Hockey League, they get right off the ice. And I know it's a little minuscule or minute detail, but there's always clips of the real Rocket working on different things after practice with guys, whether it's, trying to find different shooting lanes or working on deception or cutbacks or, really working with guys to ultimately give them a different angle and a different avenue to, put in their skill set of their bag. So that's one thing that I really see with the real Rocket Tocchet is there's always those clips of him working with guys after practice. And you don't see that a ton with head coaches, man. He just loves the game.
Yeah, he's just a guy's guy. And,
yeah,
I don't know if they can keep it up all year. And if they do, come trade deadline, Talks is going to put Jonesy and DB in a tough spot here because I know those boys have a plan and they think they're still a few years away. But, if you have the opportunity to be a playoff team, and we'll see if they can hang in here in the next, 25 to 30 games or whatever it will be. But I just thought for him to come in there, the way they're playing, I've watched them play a lot. Their structure's unbelievable. They're getting good goaltending from Dan Vladard. Is that how you say his name? Yeah, Vladar. You're getting great goaltending from him as well. But just to come in there, change the culture, that's why he's the real Rocket Tocchet, fella, the real Rocket Tocchet.
Yep, and Philadelphia is back. You can tell that they're building towards that bully attitude of we're not going to get pushed around on this ice. The brand of Philadelphia Flyer hockey that Ed Snyder instilled into that culture and that team is the identity is coming back, Obes.
Yeah, and by the way, the league's better when the Flyers are good and in the playoffs. I will say that. The league is better. It's fun to watch, so let's get those boys back where they belong. Talks, keep her going. Last but not least, the Eagle 4 around the National League. Best league in the world, Swishy. Back to my former team. Here we go again, the Vancouver Canucks. Ooh. It's a fucking soap opera up there more than it is a hockey club, nowadays. I feel for Adam Foote. Poor guy got put in a situation that I figured wasn't going to be very good. Listen, we all know what happened last year with JT Miller, right? To me, I would have never made that trade. However, they did. Now with Quinn Hughes, what I'm going to say about this, Swishy, is let's get this done. So let's not wait around. Let's not make this worse than it is. He obviously doesn't want to sign there. He's not going to stay there. Everyone in the world knows what the player Quinn Hughes is. Let's get a deal done, and let's move on, Vancouver. Start the rebuild. Put Quinn Hughes in a situation where he wants to go get the most assets you can get for him, but let's not let this drag out like the JT Miller Pettersson thing, and next thing you know, it comes down to the trade deadline. Like, for the guys that are in that dressing room, it's a fucking distraction. It's a distraction for Quinn Hughes, and it's a distraction for the whole fucking city of Vancouver. So to me, as an ex-Canuck, as an alumni, please, fellas, let's get this done and all move on and start the rebuild, because the longer it drags on, the worse it is for Quinn Hughes, the Vancouver Canucks, and everybody in the city of Vancouver, Swishy.
Yeah, and, Adam Foote, his interview over the last day or so it's evident. It's a distraction. Yeah. Guys feel it. And I like that Footy addressed it like that, where a lot of times coaches will come out and say it's not a distraction. Guys are here to play hockey. This is our job. This is the National Hockey League. Well, Footy he addressed it almost like it's as real as it could get. He's just like, yeah, of course guys feel it. Some guys a little bit more than others, and some days it's heavier. Some days it's, we can kind of skate by it, but I'm with you, Obes. Like, make the call, get it done. Get as much as you can back. If it's going to be in New Jersey, New York, Detroit, wherever he's going to land, let's get this thing done and let's move on, because right now, I mean, I was just looking at their roster tonight for the game, and it is
stinky.
Without Quinn Hughes, that's an American Hockey League team. It truly is. Like, it was brutal.
Yeah. And I mean, listen, obviously Kiefer Sherwood's going to be out the door. I mean, I feel for a guy like Brock Besser who just signed an 8-year extension, right? Like, that's why I was a little shocked. Obviously, Swishy, I didn't know, I'm not his agent, I'm not his buddy. I don't know what other offers he had, but you had to think there were some teams sniffing around there. And for a guy like that to sign an 8-year ticket, I don't know if you know him or whatever, but that's a kid I feel bad for. And he's got to be thinking, like, what did I get myself into here?
Yeah, and he's a dear friend of the show, one of my brother's best friends, and a kid that I've spent a ton of time with. And I know he had a couple different offers with the same AAV in term, not the 8 years, but 7, obviously. And yeah, it's just tough. I mean, this roster that they had going on at practice today, I'll just read it off quickly: DeBrusk, Sasson, Carlson, Kane, O'Connor, Sherwood, Besser, David Kampf, Garland, Baines, Ratty, Hoglander. On the back end, Hughes, Hronik, DePete, Myers, M. Peterson, and Willander. Like, that team, like, that's a 32nd overall team.
This could
keep
be
it real.
If they trade Quinn Hughes, this is the worst team in the league. They very well could be the worst team right now. And listen, Philip Hronik, when they backed up the Brinks truck and gave him the keys to the city for what, 8 bananas a year or something, or what's he? Hey, Casey,
7 and a hook,
7 and a hook or something. I'm like,
yep.
Listen, is he a top 4 defenseman in the National League? Yeah. On a good team, is he a 4-5? Yeah. Like, to give him that deal, I was like, listen, he was playing with Quinn Hughes. Fuck Swishy. Put you out there with Quinn Hughes or put me out there with Quinn Hughes. You're going to look good. Like, that was another contract that I thought at the time was not going to age well. And if you look at it right now, he's got 16 points in 30 games. That's not bad. But for 7 and a hook, I just didn't think he was worth that dough.
No, I'm with you. I don't think he skates well enough. I don't think his agility is at a level where on a really good team, Obes, he's a borderline 4, and he's probably a 5, if I'm being honest, and a second power play like guy. And that's a good spot for him, 16 to 18 minutes. But when you're asking him to play 22, 24, top pairing, it seems like an overpayment to me, and he's got a really good shot, but I just don't think he defends well enough, and he doesn't skate well enough to kind of warrant that type of dough on your blue line.
I agree, and what you said there is boots. His feet, I think, are the thing the most that don't make him a $7.25 million defenseman, right? Like, he plays hard, he competes. He's definitely a national leaguer and an everyday player, obviously, but just to me, to give him that deal back a couple years ago, whatever it was, I was like, that one's not going to marinate well. So, hey, to the fans of Vancouver, listen, I love the city. I love being a Canuck. I love all you Canucks fans up there. Some bad days ahead, but you'll get through it. And for Quinn Hughes, I just think this kid deserves it to happen sooner than later. Everyone deserves it to happen. So that was our Eagle 4 around the National League. Swishy, my man, get this guy a Labatt Blue fella.
Brought to you by Labatt, Obes. With Labatt, you can buy beer and get gear. Go to their website, snap a photo of your receipt, and upload it to gain exclusive points towards merch. Any size, any product. Folks, anywhere you're buying Labatt, sign up at rewards.com. Labatt USA, Chippewa Street.
Fella, that's so crispy. That never gets old anytime you do a read, fella. We might have to make you the official voice reader for Labatt Blue. I think we need to make that happen. Anytime there's a commercial or anything, it's Swishy's voice.
They should. I was talking to those guys, Jay and Matt, and even the DraftKings guys up there at the Labatt Suite on Sunday at the Bills game. They're like, every time you do the reads, we love it. I'm like, well, yeah. This is what we do. I mean, I got the buffer voice. Like, let's make it happen.
Let's go. By the way, Kevin Conley, best job he ever had, he said, was he was a voiceover for Best Buy. Just sit in the studio and just read shit all day. He's like, just best job I ever had, Obes.
Yeah, they probably paid pretty good, too.
I would imagine. Get this guy a Labatt Blue. Swishy, I'm dishing 3. First of all, Connor McDavid, my goodness, the other night against the Buffalo Sabres, too little, too late. That Oilers team is still just, they cost me a minus 210 the other night against Buffalo. But what McDavid did in the third period of that game, he was absolutely flying. Connor, get yourself a Labatt Blue. The rest of that team, figure it out, boys. Spencer Knight shut out the Rangers at home last night. I had the over. Shesterkin made some unbelievable saves too, Swishy. But this Spencer Knight kid is the real deal. Fella, get yourself a Labatt Blue. And last but not least, I had the Seattle Kraken plus 120 last night. Vince Dunn, the OT winner. Dunner, thank you, fella. Get yourself a Labatt Blue. I needed that one, baby. Swishy, are you dishing Labatt Blue, fella?
Yeah, we touched on it, right? And I just want to, he's an old friend, and he's, coaching up there in Vancouver. I just wanted to give Adam Foote a Labatt Blue. Stay with it, fella. Footy. I used to work with my agency back in the day when he was working for Kurt Overhart, a.k.a. Kurt Overcharge. And he was working for Kurt as more so a mentor for young defensemen. And Footy would put on these camps during the summers in Denver. We'd fly in. Footy would, we would have him on the ice. We'd play golf. He made sure I was always on his cart. There was even a few times where we would bang down a bunch of beers and then go back on the ice and skate. So he's a gentleman and a scholar. He's getting his first look as a National Hockey League head coach. And you know what? He's been thrown to the wolves a little bit here. He probably knew what he was getting into a little bit, but now his best player looks like he's on the outs. And I just want Footy to make sure his chin is tucked. Trust the process. Yaletown, the bars still stay open till 2 a.m. He's a good chin, a good man, and an old friend. So, Adam Foote, get yourself a icy cold Labatt Blue. And you know what? It's a long season here, brother, and you're a good man. So,
yeah, that's well said. Footy, win or lose, hit the booze. He's a great man, a legend when he played the game. Got to know Footy with my time in Colorado. He's in a tough spot, but he's got lots of character, and character's what gets you through tough situations, so they'll be all right. But Footy, get a Labatt Blue in you, fella. Fellas, it's the Luxury Auto Collection. Missin Curfew, Dog of the Week. Whether you want to pull up the rink in style or roll to the course with your boys in a tricked-out luxury van, Luxury Auto Collection's got you covered, fellas. Check them out at luxuryautocollection.com. Drive what the pros drive. Live the way you want to live. Swishy, my man. Dakota Joshua is the Luxury Auto Collection Dog of the Week. Listen, the other night, this is what I want out of him, Swishy. He's scoring some goals finally, but he's big, he's strong. This is why the Toronto Maple Leafs and Brad Treliving went out to get him. That's all you got to do. Show up for your teammates, play big, play strong. If the Leafs can get in the playoffs, which I think they will, Swishy, he's going to be such an important piece come playoff time, but they need his help to get in. His offensive game is starting to come, but this is the stuff he's got to do. He's got to play big, he's got to play strong, and when he does that, he is the Luxury Auto Collection Missin Curfew Dog of the Week, Swish.
yeah, and it's a tale as old as time. Fuck, fight, or hold the light. And early in the season, he was just holding the light. And he's not a guy that can get away with that, especially when you're not going to be producing offensively. You have to bring something to the game. And that physical mentality, fighting, instilling fear in his opponents, for checking hard Obes, getting his fisticuffs going. I'm not saying he's got to do it every night, but he's got to be that physical presence out there. And I think Craig Berube has finally gotten through to him with that. And you see it right there. He's tougher than he thinks. He hits harder than he thinks. I would like to see that a little bit more, especially because that is exactly what the Leafs have been missing in their bottom six for the last 3, 4, 5, 6 playoff runs.
Yeah, and like you said, it's not about fighting, but if you play physical, get to the dirty areas, get to the blue paint, a fight's going to find you, right? Like,
Yes.
it's not like you got to go looking for it, but if you play the way that the Leafs want this kid to play, this stuff's going to happen. So I thought it was great, and that's why he's our Dog of the Week. Moving on here, Swishy, it is the Kits Eyewear Dish of the Week. Fellas, I've been rocking these Sports Essential prescription glasses from Kits for months now. And fellas, they do not disappoint. With code Curfew, they're only $50. They've got sport, fit nose, pads, and traction grip built for movement. From what I hear, they're selling fast, so don't sleep on these. Use code Curfew to get your first pair free, fellas. Swishy, Showtime is up to it again, fella, at the Saddle Dome last night. Pretty good hockey game, by the way. Got to give the Flames credit. They tried to come back being down 4-0, but roll it, KC. Here we come. Little breakout. There's 88 right there, and this is Showtime. Boom. Backhand sauce. That is our Kits Eyewear Dish of the Week. God, he looks good in that Red Wings jersey. But that is just vintage Showtime, Swishy? Checks his shoulder. Already knows where he's going when he gets it. Backhand sauce across the box, right in the DeBrinket's wheelhouse. That's National League, and that's our Kits Eyewear dish of the week, fella.
Yeah, and it was like he was driving stick shift there, Obes, for the neutrals. I don't know if you noticed, but he did. He had her a little, kind of 4 on the floor, but he edged down right before the offensive zone blue line, not only to stay on side, but to receive that pass. And if you notice when Showtime got that on his backhand, what happened there? His head didn't go down once. He knew where it was going. It was going right across the box. And how many guys in the National League can still make that pass through the box, on the backhand, under and over a couple sticks? That's why 88 is my favorite player of all time right there. He's just so fun to watch. But it was just that little downshift, catch the puck, and he doesn't even look down to the puck. That's what's the most amazing thing. And he knows he's got the brinket on that weak side, and the puck is right in the breadbasket for the one-timer.
Nobody makes it look easier than Showtime either, right? Like you said, he'd already checked his shoulder. He had his Kits Eyewear, and he knew where the brinket was going, and he just dusted off a little bit, didn't even have to look, and just such an easy little backhand sauce. That's NHL, fella, and no one does it better than 88. Like, that is just right in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, and it's right on DeBrinket's back foot, and he obviously he knows what hand he is, but it's just such an amazing pass where, it's not where you try to get to his forehand and really, wire one through the box. There's just a little sifter. Hey, fella, just get open. I got you. And I'll put it right in your breadbasket, baby. You're gonna bury it.
That was a nice little sifter. That Detroit Red Wings team is another team that I can't quite figure out. Some nights I watch them play, and right now they're leading the Atlantic Division with 37 points. So obviously they've been playing well of late. But if they can just get a little more consistent like they have in the last couple of weeks, they got all the talent in the world, that team, Swishy, and led by the Showtime. Keep dishing it, fella. You're fun to watch. Last but not least, before we get to our guest, Tyson Barrie, it is rumor mill time here at Missin Curfew. Obviously, Swishy, we're on Chippewa Street last weekend, getting to talk to some diehard Buffalo Sabres fans. And listen, nobody's happy with the way the Sabres are playing, especially Sabres fans. But one guy's name I kept hearing from locals in Buffalo, who the next head coach of the Buffalo Sabres should be, and it's been on our social all week after a couple clips that Princey's posted, is Mike Pecca, who is the assistant coach right now in Chicago. Sabres fans want him. He played the game the right way. I know he hasn't been a head coach yet in the NHL, Swishy, but if the fans want him, why not Mike Pecca, man? That guy played the game the right way, like I said, and they need to bring in these old Sabres that had some success. And why not the captain, Mike Pecca, to be the next head coach? And this is no disrespect to Lindy Ruff. I love Lindy Ruff. I'd love to have 24 blue lights with him, but it's time for him to move on and just be up in the sky. Why not Mike Pecca, Swishy?
Yeah, and like you said, it seems to be the time to pass the torch, get Lindy in a senior advisor role, and if Mike Pecca is the guy, look, he wore the old school 8500 Bauer bucket. That thing was a glorified space bucket. So maybe if he just, would lose that bucket and come in and just, really instill his knowledge. And I don't know a ton about him, I'll be honest, but if that's what they want in Buffalo, I think it meshes well with what they need. And I look at a guy like, listen, Mike Pecca wasn't Martin St. Louis. But if you can kind of get in with, a new coach, a new face, a guy that played the game the right way, what he might lack in experience in terms of being a head coach, kind of like Martin St. Louis, I think he would, he knows the game well enough where he could come in there and do a good job. And anytime there's fresh blood, young energy, I just think that's exactly what Buffalo needs. They don't need a recycled coach hasn't won, or it's a guy that's on the back nine. No, they need new blood, new energy, and ultimately, a guy that played there and knows the city.
Yeah, and played the right way. Like, you might be a little young when, like, Mike Pecca, the year, obviously 99, he went to the finals where Hawley had his, toe in the crease, and they lost that series. But I watched them play a lot. I was a Leafs fan. They played the Sabres. It felt like fucking 8 times a year or whatever it was. You had to keep your head up when Mike Pecca was on the ice. And listen, bringing in a former Sabre that's had success there, that knows the city, that knows the fan base, I think it's something they should look at. Also, another name is a guy by the name of Jay McKee, who I believe is coaching the Brantford Bulldogs right now in the Ontario Hockey League. But for me, you got to listen to your fans, and when Michael Pecca's name comes up, I'd have no problem with that, Swishy. So while we're talking new head coaches in the National League, I want to talk to you about my new chain with our buddies at GLD. Fellas, this is why I'm all in on GLD this holiday. Buying men's jewelry used can be a nightmare. Cheap stuff or crazy markups, GLD fixed that. I've been rocking my GLD chain, and you can feel the quality right away. Real gold, hand-set stones, durable, waterproof, sweat-proof. This thing is built to last, fellas. Tell me this wouldn't be perfect holiday gift. Throwing on a new chain just hits different. Instant confidence boost, and GLD has everything. Chains, pendants, rings, earrings, iced out watches, plus official collabs with the NFL, NBA, MLB, WNBA, NCAA, MLS, and even DC Comics. Whatever you rep, they've got it. And every price point is covered. From entry-level gold-plated pieces to solid gold and natural diamonds. They'll even custom make a piece if you want something one of a kind. Over 2 million customers and 50,000 five-star reviews don't lie. Work hard and change the game. GLD's holiday deal is unbeatable. For limited time only, new customers get 50% off plus a free chain at gld.com when you use code CURFEW. Fellas, that's 50% off and a free chain with code CURFEW at gld.com. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Speaking of all-time good guys, glue guy, Tyson Barrie, Bears, coming at you next on Missin Curfew, fella. Welcome back to Missin Curfew, Updog Richie, fella, the newest member of the NHL alumni. One of my favorite teammates as a young age. I was his first NHL defenseman, which he worked him. No, I don't know if the word's lucky, but he worked so hard to get to the NHL, and then he comes in, he's like Barrie and O'Brien. But right from the Cayman Islands, looking sharp, Tyson Bears, thanks for taking the time, buddy. You look great.
Oh, thanks, pal. The Cayman Islands looks good on me down here, but thanks for having me, guys.
Did you? I just got to say, did you guys catch that? Obi threw out Cayman Islands. He's got wine on his mind here.
Was that intentional?
I know it wasn't, but
it's got a new ring to it, though. I love it.
Yeah, the Cayman Islands.
The Cayman Islands.
How do you say it?
Cayman.
Cayman.
But Cayman just sounds so much better.
Tastes better.
It does taste better. So good. It's Tasty Rouge.
Hey, how's the, I was just in the Dominican Republic, Bears. One of my good friends from high school, the franchise Shane Taylor, had a hell of a run, but he got married. Had a good time in the DR, but the humidity out there is no joke, eh? Like, it kind of got the big fella. I mean, walking around, it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, you don't want to be out there, August, September. It'll beat you down, but we're kind of nailing it right now.
Yeah, well, what is the program there? Just every morning, fire on the nut huggers and just head out to the beach, get that sand in the, feet in the sand, or what?
Yeah, I actually got a little lift in this afternoon. First one in a while. I'm probably up 15, could be 20 now after this trip. It's getting ugly, but little family vacation, or just down at the beach a lot.
Doesn't take long, eh, Bears?
Oh man, no, it doesn't take long. It's not great, Obes. I'm following your footsteps, pal.
Yeah, we posted something about me drinking beers, and Bears like DM me or put in the comments like, easy, big fella. Those beers are tough on the waistline. Eh? I'm like, yeah, no kidding, fella. No.
Obes was like, I'm kind of onto this new thing. I'm just giving up the hard alcohol. I'm just going to stick with beers. I'm going to drink like 12 a night. And we're like, I don't know if that's the right call. I'm just not.
No, I know.
Hydrating.
Well, hydrating. It's just like the hangovers, Bears. When I start drinking a ball of the Jameson or Crown the next fucking 3 or 4 days, fella, it's not pretty. The girlfriend's mad at me for something stupid I said. It's just not perfect.
No, it's not great. We're getting too old for that, Obes.
I know.
You especially.
Hey, Bears, can you get used to that island lifestyle there, though? Like, it's just like you get there, you don't check your emails, you don't really worry about anything. Could you stay longer than a week, or you think a week's long enough out there?
I could do a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Not a problem. It's nice. It's it's a lot of repetition. Yeah. Get into a nice routine out here. Some green juices, couple workouts. But you might go a little crazy after a while.
Yeah. It's funny.
Bears, did you get out any fishing or anything? How's what's the activities like out there?
No, it's honestly just kind of like hang at these beach bars, and the kids, we just go in the ocean nonstop. And we got out on a boat one day, no fishing. And then, you tuck the kids in, you go for a nice adult dinner, get into some vino, and yeah, you know how it goes. It's like a little bye week,
That's retirement. That's retirement right there. Hey, our boy, speaking of deep sea fishing, shout out to our boy Travis Agresti. He's down in Colombo staying at Billy Quinn's Casa de Pedregal or whatever. He takes all these boys from Toronto, deep sea fishing, hung titty boys. They sent me the video. All 8 of them are just puking over the fucking boat the whole day. Like, he sent me 4 or 5 videos of these Canadian boys just fucking in one. They were all green. They're just sitting there, and give them credit, they battled the whole day.
Monzuma.
They were in one.
Nothing worse than that. You got to get the Dramamine in you before you get out there.
No, we were actually down in Florida when I was with the Oilers, and Dustin Johnson let us take his boat out for the day. And we get like morale's high, boys are excited, and Tyler Benson, the poor prick, he gets on the boat, immediately seasick. He's just curled in a ball, and we're all outside having a blast fishing for whatever we were fishing for, sharks and stuff. And he's just curled up inside for 8 hours in the fetal position, puking.
Oh, fuck.
That's a bad feeling.
It's never, not good.
No, you can't get away from anything.
No.
When you're out there.
I remember my first year in Tampa, year-end bender, boys, we're on a pretty good bender. Like, so we're going deep-sea fishing the next day. I'm like, fucking rights, I'm in, boys. I show up, tarp off, throwing a big skull, log, cut them in. I'm like, I'm going to fucking dominate this day. 8 hours, I was just fucking, like, didn't move, didn't catch one fish, just in one the entire day.
Yeah, Bears, you were always a guy that liked to set up, like, a good rookie party or year-end party, whatever the case may be, but there's no chance that deep-sea fishing was going to be part of that.
No, that's not on the agenda. But an off day in Florida, it was more. I'm not a fisherman, but I like to get out on the water, And if you guys could imagine, I think DJ actually bought Michael Jordan's old boat, so it was plenty of good size. It felt like more like a yacht than a fishing boat. So those I like to get on.
Yeah, there's one thing cruising the intercoastal from Palm Beach down through Boca, Fort Lauderdale into Miami for a night out. But then there's another thing to go 14 miles.
No, I'm not. I
In the open water.
I need to see the shoreline. Yeah, not for me.
It's like Wolf of Wall Street. What do you know about Chop? Chop your fucking credit. What about fucking Chop, man? What do you know about Chop?
Few broken dishes.
You got to respect the ocean. She can turn on you quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Quickly.
She sure can.
She can turn on you. Just like the D-Zone Bears back in the day. It can turn on you quickly.
Exactly, buddy.
Bears, it's great to see you, buddy. How is retirement treating you? You had a hell of a career. At the end of your career, you were hanging tough, going on PTOs, went back down to the minors, came back up. We've all kind of been there when it comes to an end, but how have you been dealing with it so far, 25 games into this NHL season or whatever it is?
You know what? I'm enjoying it. I've been keeping busy and, spending lots of time with the family and got doing some stuff with the Canucks there. And, I'm not it was a rough last year and a half. So it wasn't super, other than the paychecks, it wasn't super enjoyable. Dinners out with the boys were good, but I wasn't playing 12 games with the Flames my last year. So I think it was just time for me to hang them up and, super grateful for everything the game gave me, but I'm not missing the actual hockey part of it quite yet. So maybe it'll hit me in a few years, but my body's not feeling great. My groins are tight. My hips are bad. I'm like, I can't even believe I played in the NHL.
Right.
Falls apart quick. Yeah.
It doesn't take long.
No, it creeps up quick, Bears. I went and skated last night for the first time in a year.
I saw that. He's practicing already for
Jesus Christ.
10 days to get ready for this Aspen game.
fuck me.
And I'm telling you, you miss it, but then you get on the ice and you start, like, the puck comes on your stick and you try to, like, stick handle and just goes to this beer leaguer over there. He just cleans you up and you're like, fuck, this just isn't what it used to be.
It's like it's stung up the fourth. It's like when you get out there the fourth line with Hordichuk back in the day, and you get the fuck on the wall. You're
like the blue line too. It's just like, turnover. Everyone just takes a while. And by the way, I cannot skate backwards anymore. It's impossible.
What do you mean anymore? What do you mean anymore?
You were downhill up always.
Yeah, I'm not super concerned. I think I'll be able to massage the mitts still a little bit. It's the legs that burn, like taking a long shift. Aspen's going to be rough altitude. I don't think I'm going to get on the ice before, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah,
Obes, are you going to get on the sheet?
I'm not getting on the sheet. No, fuck no. My gear. I had to check if I had a stick. I got one stick left in my closet. I cleaned out my spare bedroom the other day. It was not pretty in there, boys. And I got one stick.
I just ordered you a couple new Bowers.
Oh,
and they're sexy looking. What flex do you want?
Stiff, because I'm going to cross check there. How stiff are they? Are they stiff?
I'll get you a stiff one, yeah.
Hey, Bears, just before I want to talk Aspen alumni with you 100%, but I'm just curious as a former teammate, Did you ever think about going to Europe near the end of your career? Because your game is kind of tailor-made for it, the big ice, the way you can play in the offensive zone. Me and Uppy went over there and played, and it's a pretty cool experience. Did that ever cross your mind?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, young kids, and it wasn't, a financial thing. It was, I just I don't know. It seemed like a big task to get over there and move the family, and I got a dog I didn't want to leave behind. So, yeah, I don't know. I was kind of comfortable with the career I had, and was kind of happy to move on to the next chapter. To be honest, obviously, I would have tried to, play in the NHL as long as you can. It's the best league in the world, and hockey's a great game. But I wasn't. I kind of maybe lost a bit of a love for the game at the end, so I wasn't really looking to go track it down and overseas. Switzerland would have been a pretty cool experience, though. But I just decided to hang them up.
Yeah, I know.
I was done.
It's well said. And listen, I lost the love of the game near the end too. Bad. Like I just love that sour taste in my mouth. I was just single, and I was like, I'll go play over in Finland or wherever. I don't care. But when you have a family, it's a completely different situation, Bears.
Lot more logistics go into it, and then but yeah, it would have been cool. I got to do that when I was a kid too. My dad went over and played in Europe, and but I mean, I think I spent half the summer in Europe last summer, so I'm getting my touch on Europe.
Yeah, your kids. Your kids are going to be cultured either way.
Yeah, that's the plan. So I didn't. And those summer grind working out, I didn't want to show up in Europe and not be in shape and kind of, disrespect the league. So I'll just vacation in Europe maybe.
You didn't want to go like me, eh? I wake up January after a bender in Aspen at my ex-girlfriend's house at the time in West Hollywood. My agent's like, "Hey, Obes, I think I got a deal for you in Finland." I'm like, you know what, Jerry? I think I'm just going to take the year off and really try to make it like a comeback story. Like next year we can really pump it that, I've learned, and I had, a comeback story. He's like, "This is it, buddy. If you don't go over there, you're not going to ever play again." And I'm like, so Bears, I went over there. I hadn't skated in months after Aspen bender, and I get over there and I meet the coach, Bears, and it's this kind of fat Finnish guy. I'm like, all right, this guy looks all right to me. He's like, meet the D coach. It's this tall, bald-headed guy who had one eye, lost his eye playing hockey, and he's just like this Finnish machine. He's like, "I'll see you at the rink tomorrow, 6:30. I'm like, oh no, Bears. And it was just torture, fella.
No, that sounds like worst case, man. That's I'm sorry I had to go through that. I like that you were going to try to spin a
I thought we could spin a comeback story, right? Like that's how we're going to spin it. Like
your agent goes, "I don't care how good of a storyteller we are. This is that, buddy."
And you're like, after this weekend bender, there's no way I can feel worse than this. So I don't want to go over there now, this week especially.
No,
it's actually the moment where you get the offer to go over, it's a reality check. It's a real gut check to be like, is this it? Am I packing these bags and flying across the pond and getting bag skated for a week and proving that I'm not in shape?
Oh yeah, I told let's say shit. I didn't lie to them. I said, "Boys, I'm not in shape."
Yeah, I did the same thing. I wasn't in shape.
Unless round is a shape, I'm not in shape.
Huffy, your shape is different than Obi's shape, though. Yeah, there's this is scrimmage. Yeah.
And then the worst part, Bears, is they put a little 2 weeks. They put a 2 week stipulation in there. If you're not quite ready to go in 2 weeks, we can send you back. I'm like, I'm going to fly all the way there, and they're going to ship me back. I'm like, I'll stop in London or fucking Amsterdam on the way back if they do cut me. But go ahead.
Yeah.
No, Richie. I mean, I guess just to tag that a little bit. I went over there and I met a lot of North American guys that did bring their kids. And you said that Lenny was over there with you when you were younger. The aspect of a new, whether it's a new experience, I love Team Canada, and you play for Team Canada in your day, and the Spengler Cup was something that Obi always laughs at me about. But to go over there, these little kids, like at the age that my kids are, like 5, 3, and 1, similar to yours, you could kind of put them in anywhere. So, whether it's the Cayman Islands on a trip like this, you got the nanny, or you go over and you play 40 games in Switzerland, you're kind of just getting the experience, and the kids are at that age. So I guess, was there ever that thought? Like just,
Yeah, there was definitely, I thought, I thought about it. I don't know what else to tell you. I just decided not to.
I respect it.
I was just, I had a big Europe trip in the summer, and and they want you over there like really early,
That's negotiable. That's negotiable.
Yeah, it does wreck your shower.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm like, to be honest, like I love the game of hockey. Really, really grateful for the life it's given me and the friends I've got to make throughout. But I wasn't really looking to hold on to it. Like I didn't. I feel like I juiced most of what I could out of it. Would have loved to hoist one. Can't really plan for that. So yeah, no, I was good, and it was nice to kind of get through. I got to spend fall on Vancouver Island and relax, and I moved around. My dad played. I didn't live in the same city for more than a year until I was like 11 years old, and then I moved out of home at 16, and I've kind of just been moving around ever since. So maybe I just wanted to I could take a load off, like just sit still for a little while. So maybe that played into it, and getting my kid in school and giving him a little bit of stability, I think was important too for me.
Yeah, you deserve it.
Yeah. Bears, I'm curious. We're talking retirement. Like we're all retired now, but the one thing I don't miss the game at all, but I miss after a win, getting on the plane, having my glass of wine sitting there at the card table. I miss that shit and like dinners with the boys. Like, I'm curious, what are you going to miss? Because we all love playing in the NHL. What are you going to miss about it?
Yeah, exactly that. Like, yeah, going to the best cities in North America and finding the best restaurants and, bringing 4 of your best buddies and, getting in one a little bit and having a good time. And then, big wins and rookie parties and nights out, and then coming to the rink after a big night and just verbally assaulting guys, the dumb shit they were doing. And, yeah, that's all the good stuff. And, that's how you make your friends. And look at you three, Donkey. If you guys are all best friends still from playing. So that's the stuff. And, lucky for me, I'm good at keeping in touch. So, I still follow all those guys and chatting with them regularly. And being with the Canucks and stuff, I get to see all those teams come through, and I get to grab dinners and still have some fun.
Yeah, Bear, I think the hardest part of retirement for a lot of guys is, when I first retired, like you said, I lost the love of the game. I went on probably, I don't know, year and a half, 2-year bender there, going to New York, seeing loops of the boys, and fucking finally when the Amex
2-year bender.
Yeah, when the Amex poll started piling up, I'm like, you know what, I gotta really stop this. I gotta really figure out something to do here. But Chili Ones for you is something that you started when you were still playing. Now you've retired. I've been watching you. You're doing great stuff with it. But was that something that you started planning while you were playing, realizing that you really could sink your teeth into it when you were done?
I'd be lying if I said I was planning it. I just kind of got hammered one night with the guys, and we always called beers Chili Ones, and put it in my notes that I was going to do a beer with my hockey buddies, and kind of like just coincidentally, someone in the industry asked me if I'd be interested in doing something. And yeah, I was like, sure. I called like a bunch of my hockey buddies, and I was like, guys, am I nuts, or should I start a beer called Chili Ones? And they're all like, fuck yeah. So there wasn't like a ton of planning that went into it. It was kind of serendipitous and took on a bit of a life of its own. And but it's definitely nice to have something you can lean into right out of the gates out of retirement. It keeps me as busy as I'd like to be. I could be on calls all day, and there's lots that goes into the beverage industry, so I'm learning a lot, but it's definitely keeping me busy.
Yeah, that's good. When I retired, I was looking forward to garbage day just so I could accomplish something. I'm like, I'm going to get that fucking garbage out there. Okay, that was Wednesday.
And then I'm getting back on that couch.
I'll see you next Wednesday. I'll see you next Wednesday.
Bears, you've had a great career, brother. Like, just looking through
crispy
822 games, more than 100 apples, 500-point clubs, pretty amazing. One thing that I never got to do, and you boys here sitting across from me have, is play in Canada, and you played for a few good teams there. Is there, looking back, is there a highlighted group of guys, on a team that that you left the game with saying that was the best group of guys I've ever played with? I know you're a great team guy, but now looking back, like, is there that one little special group that you had that you'll always keep in touch with, and that, maybe you could have got to the mountain with that you just fell up short? Like, looking back, who's that?
Yeah, I mean lots of great guys and good teams, but that year I think we beat Calgary in the first round with Colorado. You could just see that we were getting good. That was like, you could feel it in the room. I'd been there for 8 years at that point. We'd been through hopes. You saw some of the bad times. We grinded. The one year we finished the least point total since the Atlanta Thrashers or something, just pathetic. And then, we started to climb, and you could feel that we were building towards something. And, that's when I got moved out and was a little, disappointing, but the writing was on the wall. They had fucking the next Bobby Orr coming in. So it was what it was. Yeah, that was a great group. And then, that team in Edmonton, we lost to Colorado in the conference final. I think, Smitty and we just had such a good group of human beings on that team. And it would have been fun to make a run. We just ran into Colorado, who I don't think anyone was beating them that year.
No, that team was loaded.
Yeah.
Bear, shifting to what you're doing now, when you got hired with Sportsnet Vancouver, I loved it, buddy. I just want to ask you about Dan Murphy. Murph is one of my favorite guys. So much respect from guys that played in Vancouver. Murph was so great to me through my ups and downs in Vancouver and stuff like that. But, how is it working with him? How much has he helped you? He's just a fun guy to be around.
He's a great dude, and he's such a pro. The actual, doing the panel in there between periods is a little, it's different than I thought it was going to be. It's almost more of like a bit of a performance, and you're under the bright lights and you're live and you got this, the lights on. So I'm super grateful to, be able to work alongside him. He makes my job so much easier, and he's just a good dude. And very grateful to, be able to kind of lean into his expertise.
Good guy to have beers with.
Yeah, one more thing before I go. He's got good style too, eh? Murph's got good suits. He's always looking sharp. He's got a nice tailor, keeps himself in good shape. Nice style.
He does. He looks great. He's almost 50, you said. And he looks like he's like mid-30s. But Obes, I loved your time in Vancouver. The disgruntled employee is one of my favorites ever. So good.
Yeah, that was a nice title. That was a nice title.
That was
Disgruntled
incredible.
employee was nice.
It's on the ticker, disgruntled employee. And you're just bitching about that.
Bitching about ice time, eh? I'm like, if you can't put a guy in the third period, maybe he shouldn't be on your team, man. Like, someone grabbed the mic from his dummy.
I don't know why they didn't like you there, Holmes. I don't get it. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just staying with Vancouver. I mean, you're watching them. We watched Vancouver quite a bit. What are you seeing from this team this year? It's kind of been a little bit of a disappointment, slow start. What are you seeing, and anything you're liking or not liking?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. We all know what it's like, the league, and every team now is so good and so competitive. If you're not going to, outscore teams, and you just need to have the, your top end guys really performing. And obviously they've got some, that Quinn Hughes is, generational, and Petey's really picked up his game, and, Keeper Sherwood, an old teammate of mine, he's a fan favorite, one of my favorites. So there's some bright spots, but, it's going to be, it's going to be a grind all year. So we'll see what, you can get on a run, win 5, 6, 7 in a row. You're right back in it. So we'll see what they can do.
Bears, I want to go back to, last year, now that you're, doing the TV for them. I'm sure you saw what was going on. I know you're playing in Calgary, but you're one of the best team guys I've ever played for. And where I'm going with this is, could you imagine being in a dressing room where you have JT Miller and Pedersen and all these good pieces? We all don't get along, Bears, right? You don't love everyone you play with, but can you imagine it got to the point where you're like, okay, we have to trade arguably our best player because these two guys aren't getting along? Like, could you not think, if you put yourself in that dressing room, you got to find a way to be like, boys, it's just about winning fucking hockey games here. That's all that really matters.
Yeah, you like to think that maybe, someone could have helped, jumped in to help stick handle that situation a little bit. But I don't know the ins and outs. And I don't know, the guys personally, so I can't really comment. It's all just sort of speculation for me. Yeah. So it is. I mean, fuck, it's hard enough to win this league when everyone's pulling on the same rope. So if you got your two best players hate each other, then that's not typically going to end well.
Yeah,
especially in a city like that.
For practice fight, fuck. Hey,
I know, but you guys know what it's like in Vancouver. Everything gets blown out of proportion.
I grabbed Willie Mitchell one time in practice. I love Mitch. I grabbed him. Get over it, said Mitch.
Yeah, he was always whacked Sanford over here, and then they win the cup.
Sometimes you got to go.
Sometimes the guy needs to get punched in the face.
Nah, it's just not the national. Are we not all men here trying to win a Stanley Cup? Like, who cares if you don't like everyone? Yeah, that to me, Bears. Sorry to bring it back up. It's just it's the reason they're in the predicament they are now. You just said it. In Vancouver, you win 5 or 6 or 3 and 4 in a row. You're back in it, but. Quinn Hughes, obviously, I think he has 1 year left maybe on his contract. I'm not sure. But if you can't sign this guy, Bears, obviously he's an elite player. Like, what would you do, or what's your opinion on it? Because it's a hot topic right now in Van City, fella.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, he's got another year left. So, I'd for sure, he's a generational talent. So, him and LeCar kind of go back and forth on who's going to win the Norris every year. So I think you have to take every chance, every swing you can at keeping them. So obviously you keep them through this year and you try to make them happy and show them a direction and show them that you're committed to winning and trying to find a solution to win. And then you revisit next off season and start to try to gauge his interest and see how the season starts. And, if it's clear he's not going to stay, then yeah, you're going to have to move him next year whenever you can get the most value for him. But, I think it's a bit early to start talking about it because you can get through this year. If you can't make a run at the playoffs, you never know. Hockey's a funny game. You sneak in, it's all you need to do. So, but yeah, you got to swing for the fences and try to keep him. He's just too good.
No, I think that's well said. How much of, being on the panel in between periods with your squad there, when things aren't going well, how is it, trying to spice up good things that you find or criticizing players? Like, how do you find, how do you find that?
I'm just lipstick on a pig, eh? Lipstick on a pig or what?
Like, as an ex-athlete now, do you like to be in the spot where you're kind of like, well, the guy's got to make a play and highlight like mistakes, or are you looking for good things? Like, how have you handled the pressure on the seat up there?
Yeah. I mean, and I'm sporadically, I'm doing 24 games throughout the year. So I'm not there every time. And, I'm on a bit of a break here now. So, they've played some good hockey when I've been in the building. And at the end of the day, we're Canucks Sportsnet. So we're talking the boys up and trying to, find all the good. And even when they're not giving us much, but it does, sometimes you got to rag the puck on air. Landon Ferrero's great. He can, the human rain delay, he can kill time with the best in him. So I'll flip it to him and he can beat off 2 minutes and it's good. But yeah, when the game's, 0-0 or 1-1 after 2, it can be tough, but you try to stay positive and there's enough storylines throughout, kind of the game and teams coming in where you can usually make something work.
And just to follow up on that, there's one kid that always highlights the way he's playing and his effort is that Kiefer Sutherland to me.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Sherwood.
Kiefer Sherwood there.
Jack Bauer.
24.
No, Jack Bauer.
Great show.
Jack Bauer, CTU.
No, and the reason I asked, I was chatting with my boy Bertuzzo not too long ago, and he was a St. Louis Blue at one point, and they couldn't sign him over a certain, it wasn't much money or whatever. And, they move him and now he is what he is, but he's an effective player on a bad team playing, incredible hockey. He's the highlight there. What have you seen in this kid that like, no matter what, he's still bringing the heat is what, what I see.
Yeah. I got a chance to play with Woody in Nashville and he's just a great guy. And man, I don't know what more you could. I don't know. I can't believe Nashville let him go. I think it was over. Yeah, it was over a pretty minimal amount of money too. So, and when I was there, we were getting healthy scratch together, and he was working hard, and then he'd get in the game and he'd play great, and he'd get healthy again. I couldn't believe it. As would I. Couldn't believe that either. So, maybe it wasn't working as hard as Woody. No, but what more could you want from a guy? He there's a shift that the last game I did. He jumped off the bench, ran in on the forward check, took a big run at a guy. Puck turns over. He's flying back on the back check, turns the puck over, comes into the ozone and slaps his stick. It's a point blank chance in the slot. Runs another guy and gets off. I'm like, what more are you llooking for out of a hockey player? And he's having a great year. And I know his teammates love him. You can see every time he scores. He's so pumped. He's going to lead the team in shots and hits every night. So I'm super, super stoked for him. The Canucks are, lucky to have him. Obviously, when you're a good player, there's going to be interest from you elsewhere. So we'll see if I saw his name in a rumor or something. But hopefully, I think he's a Canuck fan favorite. So hopefully they keep him around.
Yeah, just to stay with Vancouver, are you seeing Hank and Danny Sedin around there? Are they around the ice with the boys? Because I think they could really help these some of the seat.
Get out there.
Come on,
they're around. I saw them my first game. I was chatting with them, but usually, I'm in the side door, gate 16, right up to the press booth. So I don't see the boys much. I like to, give them space. I don't want to be the, the retired guy in there poking around for stories and stuff. I'm just up in the booth, talking shop between periods. So
I know exactly how to slide up through gate 16 up to the press box, Bear. But I get many nights in Vancouver, many nights, Bears. Hey, just slide right up there, low key, get through the game, get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, exactly.
Bears, I want to talk to you about our former squad. The Colorado Avalanche, one regulation loss. They're absolutely humming. Your boy, Nathan McKinnon. First of all, does he get enough credit? I mean, I think everyone says Connor McDavid's the best player on the planet, and it's an easy argument. But, I'm looking at what Nate's done the last couple of years, and I don't want to take anything away from Connor McDavid, but, the way he's clipping, when I watch the Avs play, the impact he has on this game, he's a 1B, so to speak, Bears, if you ask me right now.
Yeah. I think on any given night, there's probably 4 or 5 guys in the league that could be the best player in the world. I think Connor and Nate are probably consistently those 2 guys. But man, yeah, he's just, he's feeling it. Every game he's bringing it, and obviously Kale kind of having those 2 1-2 punch, they work well together. I mean, that can't be fun to defend.
No.
And some guys like, Connor, I think is, probably the best actual, hockey player to ever walk the earth. His skills and his skill set, everything, he's got it all, but then there's intangibles. Like Nate is, could be a lunatic sometimes. He's so driven and he's just, he's just fire and he's so consistent. So, there's just different intangibles that guys bring, and Nate's got a bunch of different ones. And man, is he playing some good hockey right now? We announced him as our non-alcoholic ambassador for Chili Ones, and I think he had 12 points in 3 games after. So
yeah,
good timing. Yeah.
Good call.
He never plays hungover, so yeah.
Why not? Advancedly not. Hey, Bears, just before I turn over to Richie here, I got one more about our former teammates. Our boy Gabriel Landeskog, a guy that means a lot to both of us. Obviously came back from a terrible knee injury. I watch almost every Avs game. He's fallen down a lot. That's the one thing, he's fucking fallen down a lot. But other than that,
always been falling down.
He's
always been falling down.
Has he?
Landy's always on his knees.
Okay. Yeah. I'm like, fuck, he's fallen down a lot. But he's starting to get that Landeskog back of forechecking, getting the net and stuff like that. But just to see him back, I know what he means to you. It's such a great story. I'm so happy he's back, Bears.
Oh man, me too. That was a tough few years on him, mentally and obviously physically, and trying to rehab something that just won't get better. And, you think you're there and it takes a step back. And, I've talked with him and just the frustration and the mental grind that you go through for that. So to have him back for himself and his family is, it's so good to see. I think you've got people around the league really appreciate what he went through. And, you got a, pretty heartwarming reception when he came back, and then what he means to that team in the dressing room can't be overstated anymore. It's that's one of the best guys I've ever met, and one of the best leaders. So to have him at the back at the helm is they're in a good spot.
Hey Bears, I got to ask you this question. Me and Obes grew up together, so I've seen a lot of his antics over the years off the ice. Flip. I've never got to play with Obes, so you play with him. You guys play together. What was it like playing with Obes? Any good stories? And then also, if you've ever been over to he lived at my house, rented my house in Denver, and I don't know if you were ever over there for an aftershaker. Apparently, they were pretty famous.
Man, yeah. Well, playing with Obes was the best. It was he'd just come in the room in the morning, and he'd be in there smelling like Flexol. He'd have a towel over his shoulders, and he'd have the whole room just fucking sitting there laughing. It was a treat, and he was great to me. Like you mentioned, we were D partners, and kind of took me under his wing. Always made sure to invite me out for dinners, or they were going for beers later, whatever. I got a couple good old stories. Some that probably shouldn't be shared, but I went to a few of those after parties, and I think my dad went to a few of those after parties.
And Lenny was always there. Lenny was last one up. Said, Lenny, I got to shut her down now, but I got practice tomorrow. You got to go by.
Yeah, 100%. I think the one night. I woke up in your place. I was sleeping in your spare room, and I woke up with an ex-girlfriend of mine, and then Kevin Connolly woke up. Me and Kevin Connolly were sharing a pillow. I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, it's too cold out on the couch." I was like, "All right, no worries, buddy." Yeah. Yeah, lots of good laughs though with Obes always. I mean, yeah, there's I've never once hung out with the Obes and didn't have a great time.
Yeah, right back at you, fella. That was a tough night for Cons too. He was shooting a movie up in Boulder. I'm like, hey, come on down, buddy. We got a day off tomorrow. He went to bed somewhat early, and Bordelot went in there and like took all the blankets off of him and like roughed him up. I'm like, Bordy, like the guy's an actor, man. You can't just go in there and father out. Like, have a touch here, you big fucking mute. And he's like, oh, I need the blanket to do something. I'm like, what? Just leave him alone. I'm like, Cons, lock your door. You know?
Bordy didn't have much of a touch. What a guy though.
Especially on the half full. Remember how jacked his upper body was, Bears, and then his quads were like Bordy mixed in a fucking. By the way, I gotta get Bordy's story for you. You know, I take some heat for, you know, kind of sleeping in and stuff like this. So it's St. Patty's Day, and I'm out with Bordy.
Oh yeah.
And we're playing the Hawks the next day, and we're at Spill Downtown Bears. I'm like, Bordy, I'm leaving.
Oh boy,
I'm already in the hot seat here. I'm somehow playing tomorrow. I'm out of here. He's like, I'm staying. I'm like, all right, fella, just, you know, we got a game tomorrow. So not only
you're the voice of reason. That's when you know you're in one.
Yeah. Not only did Bordy miss our morning skate, he showed up when the Blackhawks morning skate was over. And he walks in the room. I'm like, fuck, buddy, you missed both morning skates. That's fucking tough to do. That's tough.
I know. I was on the squad. I remember he was trying to blame it on his alarm or whatever. It's like, couldn't be more obvious. It's St. Patty's Day. Oh man, good time ago.
Yeah, buddy, you just missed the Hawks morning skate too. That's a record. I've never seen anyone do that.
Who was our coach there? Was that Sacco?
Oh yeah, Sacco and your boy Dave Quinn. Fuck, did I hate that Dave Quinn?
Yeah, timing our one-timers.
Yeah.
What was our point shots? Yeah. I remember that. I got along with Quinn. He was great to me in the minors and stuff. And you know, I was young. You had a lot more experience, so I didn't really have much to compare it to. But I remember we were standing up top on the blue line, all the D. And he had a stopwatch out, and he'd fire you a puck, and he'd go like click it, and you know, see how quickly you could get it off your stick. So you're just literally talking about human error, and he'd be like, too slow. I remember Obe skated by, and he goes, "Hey, Quinny, you're losing us."
Jesus Christ. It was so good. That's exactly how.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I would think maybe when I fail, I come in. By the way, the Avs room now, Bears, looks unbelievable, right? It wasn't like that where they're motoed up. We had like a fucking budget coffee machine with some bagels in the corner. Remember, Bears, by the change room? And it wouldn't fucking every morning.
The gym was in the shower.
Yeah.
It was. At least it makes you look like you're sweating when you're in there.
Yeah. Every morning that lockout year, fucking Dave Quinn would be in there getting his coffee. And I remember the one morning, I'm like, I got to say hi to this guy. And it's right when he got hired by Boston College or BU, remember?
Yeah.
So I'm like, fucking get my coffee. I'm like, morning, Quinner. I'm like, how you doing, buddy? He's like, always a good day when you're getting double dipped, Obes. When you're getting paid by two teams. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm like, this fuck. Good looking guy, though. I got to give him credit. Bears, remember?
He was a weapon.
Remember when we would do the one function every year or charity thing with all four of the teams, like the Broncos, Nuggets, Mammoth, and us?
Yeah.
Quinner shows up with this absolutely rocket blonde, and I'm like, fuck, I got to tip my hat to that fella. Like, good for you, buddy. I mean, as much
he would have. I lived in the same when I was in the minors in Cleveland. I lived in a place called Crocker Park, and he lived, in one of the units there, and he always had a couple different babes walking around with him. Yeah. He was a bit of a stud.
Smart.
He could talk. Yeah, good hair. Yeah, big guy.
He came to he was at Shaddy's wedding. He's the only coach, at the wedding, obviously. And then that year he bought, the Rangers fucking buy Shaddy out. I'm like, how does this work? He was just at your wedding, and now he's not putting you in the lineup. I'm like, there's something wrong about it. Right? Can you retract that invite?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was. I don't know.
You know what?
These kids are at the wedding. You got to keep them in the lineup.
Like you would think that you keep them at least in the organization.
How do you take Shaddy out of the lineup?
I don't know. How do you take Tyson Barrie out of the lineup? I never would have. I never fucking would have. That's for sure. Barry, let's talk. Let's talk.
Well, once it happens once, it's like a snowball. Then it's can get away with it.
Yeah, they're like, I handled it well. We'll do it again.
Yeah, well, I didn't handle it well. I guess I asked for a trade immediately. But what do you do? Anyways, go on. Okay.
No, but that's a great point by you. Derek Smith, our boy Richie Smitty, head coach of the Trenton Sting. I think they're called the Golden Hawks now. One of my favorite guys. We grew up with me and Rich. He was getting healthy scratched in Calgary, and half the reason was because Bob Hartley, that pigeon, knew that Smitty could take it, right? That Smitty would come in and not be grumpy and not disrupt That doesn't make it right, though, Bears, that just because he's a good guy, you're going to continue to shit on him. Like, we're in last place. You might want to give Smitty a chance here and maybe take Chris Butler or Chris Russell and have them fucking ride the bike for a night because, it just seems like they pick on the nice guys sometimes, Bears.
Yeah, easier to pick on. But yeah, I've seen some bizarre health bombs over my career, and not ones I wasn't even involved in. Even Sherwood in Nashville, he was always out of the lineup, and I was wondering if they were watching the same game I was. It's interesting. I think they're, like I said, once it happens once, and it just kind of opens the floodgates,
The best one of all time is Chris Versteeg getting fucking healthy scratched in Florida, and Gord Murphy, our D coach, his job was to fucking skate him, and Versteeg took every puck on the ice and just shot it 40 rows up into the stands to where there was no more pucks, and he just looked around and said, well, no more fucking pucks, I'm out of here. And he just left. He shot 100 pucks over the glass. He'd just grab them and fucking start shooting them. It was
I feel like I must have handled it better than that.
Yeah. I didn't even get pucks when they bagged me. It was just me and the coach and a fucking whistle.
And then Hartnell in Florida or in Nashville, I'm like, second year in the league, Hartsy's played 78 games in a row. There's 4 games left, and we're like shitty, but Hartsy kind of needs like a little wake-up call. But he's literally played 78 games in a row. And I'm just kind of watching Trotsy because I know he's going to come say something to Hartsy. And as soon as he goes over, Hartsy's like, don't say it. Like, don't fucking say it. He's like, Hartsy, you're not playing tonight. He just launches his stick like up into the upper deck and skates off the ice. So I'm like, well,
yeah, you can't do that.
You can't do that.
Yeah, Uncle Barry knows better than that.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
You can't do it either way.
Trotsy's, he was the one that got me too. What happened?
Oh, he had me within his fucking
was Foyle still the GM when you were there, Bears, or Barrie was? Yeah.
No, when I got traded there, he was, but Trotsy was kind of, in that transition phase of taking over, and Foyle was still around when I was there. Was kind of popping in. I don't know how involved he was, but it was that was kind of the beginning of the end for me, unfortunately. But I always say, like, when you bring, it's got to be a good fit, and I was a guy who runs the power play, and they kind of brought me in, and they have Yossi, who's one of the best defensemen at running the power play of our generation. I was just kind of scratching my head. So,
thanks for bringing me in, boys.
This is great. I don't penalty kill. I don't power play. Like, this is gonna end well.
It's like when I got to Vancouver off of fucking. I had to fly I got traded from Prague. Your old Lenny Boy Norcool's traded me midair from fucking Prague back to Tampa. So I went Prague, Tampa, Houston, Vancouver. Next day I get to the rink, meet AV. Vigneault's like, well, I don't know much about you, so we'll see how this goes. I'm like, okay, nice to meet you. Thanks for having me, bud. I'm like, fuck. Hey, Bears, I'm like, this is not good.
No, you could kind of, that was like when I got to Toronto, too. I had my meeting with Babs there, and I called my dad right after. I was like, hey, this isn't going to go well. I'm like, this is not going to go well. And sure as shit, it did not go well.
Dude, it's funny you say that. When I got traded, I was playing Dalewood with Pitter Richie there, eh? Duff track Dalewood, you got to hear it straight there. And I get traded, and I don't even know who the coach is in Calgary. I'm like, who's the coach there? Daryl Sutter still? Like Bob Hartley. I'm like, I look at my dad, heck, Dad, this is the beginning of the end. This is not going to go. So I know exactly what you mean, Bears. A couple more, buddy. I appreciate you taking the time. I know you want to get back out there and tone that nice frame of yours, but a couple things to finish off. Aspen alumni game. First of all, you're playing on the Avs team, I'm hoping?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So listen to this back end, Bears. Ready, fella? We got Tyson Barrie, Kevin Shattenkirk, Kyle Quincy, John Michael Lyles, and the fat boy Obi as the fifth fucking guy just there to keep the boys loose. That's a pretty good back end. Our main goal, keep this guy off the score sheet, Bears. That's our main goal.
It shouldn't be too hard. That's our main goal.
Keep him out of the bars, maybe. But yeah.
Wait till you see how short Orbs' shifts are.
Well,
yeah, bud. It's going to be interesting.
That's my main goal. Just through the legs. How's she going?
Bears Richardson can't make it this year on a couple scheduling conflicts. So my Friday night, I'll be in bed a lot earlier. I don't want to put all the blame on Richardson, but he tends to keep me out at some nights. So I'm going to try to take it easy. But last year, Bears, it was ugly. I didn't know who was going to go down first, me or Danny Heatley. It was neck and neck. Like, make sure those ambulances ready.
Anytime you're going toe to toe with Heater, that's good company. You're going to be in one.
Hey, Bears, I go Heater. You mind if we mic you up? He's like, yeah, but I don't think I'm going to say a whole lot. I'm like, yeah, that's okay. We got the footage. I don't know if he said more than 10 words the whole fucking game. It was just him on the bench, but just breathing heavy.
I was in Heaters the best. I was in down in Hermosa, and me and Mike Smith and Draisaitl, we went down to the beach with Teddy Purcell, and we were playing volleyball, and we were having some beers, and Teddy's like, hey, let's walk up to Heaters and grab a few. We're like, yeah, for sure. We wheel into Heaters' place, and Leon's there, a couple 50-goal scorers, and we walk in, and he's like, what do you guys want? Like, oh, just have a beer is good. He pours himself, grabs his big Yeti, and pours like just fucking half a bottle of vodka in there. Yeah. I go, Jesus, Heater. He goes, well, come to my house. Don't waste my fucking time. And then we go up on the roof. We're having a good laugh. Like everyone's just having beers, and him and Leon are chatting. And Leon, Heater was saying something ridiculous and chirping Leon. And Leon goes, yeah, but Heater, you know what the difference was? I was a pass first guy who scored 50. And then Heater goes, yeah, imagine if you fucking shot. He was a beauty.
Heater's the best. He's not coming this year. We're going to miss him. But Bears, last but not least, buddy, when you're not on vacation, you're checking out tunes. Anything coming up or anything you just saw recently that was a good show?
You know, I haven't been to a show, and I hit a bunch this summer, but man, I just got showed a few new bands. But no, I've just that Tenfei band. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they are incredible albums. You just press play. They got 2 unbelievable albums, 3 now, and you'll love it. You can kind of it's like dinner music. It could be up, it could be down, but you just hit play and you're just vibing. So
the band Bears, say that again.
Tenfei, Ten.
Yeah, Fe. Yeah.
And I have a sneaky little investment in the band with a couple other hockey guys, so it's a little biased, but fantastic.
Nice. Hey, I just wanted to add, Bears, you were part of through Obi. You lent us your house numerous times to go in and see epic shows at Red Rocks. So I just wanted to extend that thank you. So anytime you need.
And B, do you still have that? B, do you still have that house?
No, I'm just kidding. No, but dude, I actually took my wife, Christina, and mother of my kids, on my first date to see Odessa. We stayed downstairs in your back corner room because Loops and Obes had the masters up top.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. You could replace some of those fucking toilet paper holders were knocked off when I came in. I was like, I can only imagine the shaker that went down here post show. You guys are donkeys.
Yeah, I'm like, are you sure he wants us back there, Obes? Yeah, we're fine.
If it bears the beauty, he understands.
Yeah, just a house.
Hey, Bears, I appreciate it, buddy. Congrats on a great career. I love that you're still involved with Sportsnet 650. Enjoy the vacation. Can't wait to see you in Aspen. Have some chilly ones and a few more, buddy. You're the best, and thank you again, my man.
Thanks for having me, boys. We'll see you soon.
Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Updog, my man, Richie fella. They don't get much better than Tyson Barrie.
Absolutely not. Our boy from Camus Islands.
Just Camus Islands there. Tell you what.
It's got to be a nice time.
Almost drank all the Camus during the goddamn ALCS and World Series loophole, and you drank me out right out of my fucking Camus.
You did. You brought over a few nice bottles.
It wasn't enough to get it done.
No, it wasn't. We were one short.
He even brought the Opus Rich, and that didn't even get the boys to get it.
I didn't even do it?
No.
Yeah.
But Bears, what a guy, Ups?
I love him. I just look back and I was looking through some of his highlights, boys, and just, what you don't see on a highlight reel is that he was just the ultimate team guy.
Yeah.
Part of a wrecking ball crew with him and Crosby and Braden Shen and McKinnon, who do their little secret tour vacations at the end of the year where they bomb around together and let loose, and they go places maybe not everyone's going to know them. So
yeah, I told you about that. I was up at Shutters with a couple girls I knew, or the girl I knew back in the day, and this Sprinter van pulls up and off comes fucking Nathan McKinnon and off comes Sidney Crosby. I'm like, who else is on there? Gretzky and Lemieux? Or like, fuck. And then here comes, Braden Shen and then Bears. I'm like, hey, Bears. So they ended up coming over and Ty went on with us. But yeah, he's tight with those.
He's tight with them. And it just, why I asked him about his teams, and I know he, his heart was in Colorado and always was.
Yeah.
But like every team he went to, it seems like he became the nucleus of their room and the heartbeat of their team. And that's harder than, playing the power play. That's harder but it came natural to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that stands out. And I think he's doing a great job on Rogers. I tune into him. Hilarious what he said about Ferraro, because that guy can slow it down. He's like Getzlaff with the puck. He slows it right down. But Richie, I don't know, for a guy that, we never played with Bears, but we feel like we have just because of the guy he is.
Yeah, I'm disappointed I'm missing Aspen now. I wanted to hang with him, have some beers. And
You can still come.
I know.
Dude, the Birds leaving from Orlando.
Yeah, I just tell the kids to walk around Disney by themselves.
Well, what's Jess for, eh?
No, but what is crazy is that we were going to Orlando for where Disney World is, and then you're humming across the country to go to Disneyland. That's actually
you're
dog shit.
You're doing Disneyland, not Disney World.
Yeah, it wasn't perfect timing. We planned it a while ago, and we didn't know all this stuff was falling into place. So,
Yeah.
way she goes, Obes.
Yeah, way she goes, buddy. But yeah, you would have loved playing with Bears, Rich. And you know what? A fucking centerman's dream. He hit you low and slow all night long.
Yeah. Oh, and then just ran the power play, good skill. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great player.
Good guy. He was such a good kid when he first came up. There was him and this other kid, Stefan Elliott was his name, this French.
I remember him.
Yeah, Reggie too soft, terrible.
Yeah.
And they had a hard on for him, right? And Bears, I'm like, kid, listen, just hang in there. Like this little phase of them loving this kid is going to end. This kid is not going to play.
You know how they like their French guys there too.
Yeah, exactly, right? They do. And I said, just hang in there. And so some days he's like, oh, why am I not playing this and that? So I knew he'd have a great career, which he did. So looking forward to seeing him. Richie, I'm going to miss you in Aspen, fella, but I am going to get a little more shut-eye without you, I think.
But I do like how you put it on me. As I remember, you were in my room. Hey,
Oh, yeah.
I had to get you to leave. The big fella didn't want to leave.
He keeps talking himself into the fact you're not there. He's not going to find another wing.
Oh, yeah.
Another wingman to be with.
Yeah, bullshit, Obes.
Self-talk goes a long way, Richie.
It does a lot of self-talk. Say thank you to Tyson Bears. Bears, you're the man. Up dog, Richie fella, always a pleasure. Thank you to All Pass Media. Kyle, KC Conway, Max, the Ice Pick pickup. That was Missin Curfew.
Fellas.